Hello, everyone. Today is July 5th, 2025. First of all, if you are watching this from the United States, happy 4th of July. And then let's go ahead and talk about, honestly, this is one of those weeks where, honestly, it's mostly bad. So let's go ahead and talk about some of this stuff. Now, first, I'm going to open up by addressing a quick question one of you had asked me is, what happens to the Solent, Steel, and so on inventory donations that someone can make to the guild? That the steel and stuff, it just goes to there's this merchant vendor NPC at the guild base in Vienta Village. You can go up to her and you can buy stuff using the inventory. So like we have guild flags and golem states and so on. As far as I know, Guild Guardian or higher can access this. There was someone in the guild who was only guild member who tried it, but then they weren't able to access this NPC. So I'm guessing you have to be Guild Guardian or higher. I can access it because I'm Guild Master. So next, we're going to talk about one of the major bad things about Throne of Liberty right now is the glitch at the load screen. So what I have done is I have opened Throne of Liberty, I made character selection, I selected my character, I was about to load it into the game, but then I get stuck at this screen right here. It doesn't show my character, it literally just shows the background and then that's it. I have to close the game, or then immediately reopen it, and then once I do, then I can load in. So that's an extra 5 minutes wasted every time I want to log in. So multiple times a day after day, that's really not good. And based off what some other people have told me, apparently they have it worse. Apparently they can't even get into Throne of Liberty right now. So that's really not good, and I doubt anyone from Amazon is going to watch this video, but if y'all do, y'all should probably get this completely fixed as soon as possible. Otherwise, Throne of Liberty has a bad rep as it is. It's only going to get worse from here if this keeps up. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Matt Firor leaving ZeniMax and multiple projects that were unannounced from ZeniMax getting canceled. I imagine there are some of you who would like for me to comment on this, and honestly, I feel like I can only comment on either what I know is true or what I think we can safely assume is true. Now, Matt Firor, who is the president of ZeniMax, he has abruptly left the company because, well, on paper he quit, but considering the layoffs and stuff, I don't think he quit. I've seen what other people are saying. I've seen what other people are writing around the internet, and yeah, there is a general agreement, including me, that Matt Firor was ousted from ZOS. And then, for whatever reason, they've canceled all these unannounced projects. Now, I don't feel like I'm in a good position to be able to comment on whether or not that was a good choice, because since I've never seen these games, I've never played these games, I know nothing about these games, then I personally can't vote on whether or not it was a good choice. Sure, Microsoft can because they've seen it, but I can't. So, for example, I have seen every episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, and I liked Avatar The Last Airbender. So since I've seen every episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, I have every right to say that I think it was a good show. On the other hand, I've also seen a show called Dark Oracle, which I made it through to the end. I've seen every episode, and I did not like it. If you're curious about Dark Oracle, the whole show is on YouTube, so you can watch it for yourself, and you can tell me what you think. What's One Tree Hill? Okay, so to this day, I've never seen a single episode of One Tree Hill. So I'm not really in a position to say whether or not it's a good show or a bad show. And similarly, I personally don't feel like I can make comments on ZeniMax's terminated unannounced projects being a good thing or a bad thing. So that's all. Now, don't get me wrong. I do hope that Matt Firor and them and all the people that got laid off. I hope they find new jobs. I wish them well, but that's out of my hands. I can't really do anything to help them. So the next piece of MMO news we're going to talk about is there was a new Bella Torres interview that came out. It's in Korean, but there are English subtitles you can turn on from the YouTube settings to watch it. There is going to be it's not coming out on July 8th, I promise you that. There's going to be a beta, but it's only going to be in Korean, it's not going to be in English. So I guess that means I'm not participating. So Bella Torres, for those of you who don't know, it's a Korean MMO, as you might have guessed from what I just said. And there's going to be multiple houses battling for control in the center. It's a similar concept to Game of Thrones, but it's not going to be Game of Thrones specifically. This is an MMO that I've been looking forward to. I even did a whole video on it previously, showing all the different houses and giving my thoughts on them. So I personally am, if nothing else, looking forward to checking out this upcoming MMO when it gets released in English. But that's all I feel like you could say about Bella Torres right now. We know there's a beta coming up. I honestly thought after about 2 years of silence they had silently scrapped. Maybe they silently scrapped it, or who knows when we're going to hear from it next. But so I wasn't sure what to think because, well, no information had been presented. So right now we have Elder Scrolls Online, which it's been going down. There are certain conditions for Elder Scrolls Online picking right back up. Content updates, that's one you could have easily guessed. And then also there's, say, when Oblivion Remastered came out, and then that subsequently brought the entire Elder Scrolls franchise back into the public's attention. So when things like that happen, we get more people from ESO. And then Throne and Liberty just keeps going down and down and down. And yeah. It's like that, contrary to its name, that game has no power and people have the liberty to quit the game. So yeah, Throne of Liberty is just not doing so hot right now. And then Bella Torres is going slightly up. So the next thing I want to talk about, and this is the last point I want to make in this video, is about outsourcing people to and from TOP. So let's say, and in this we're going to use Dahlia from the Hologram Garden again as an example. So let's say Dahlia is recruiting for a co-op survival game she wants to play, which right now she's playing Dune Awakening. I haven't kept up with Dahlia, so I'm not sure if she's still recruiting, but we'll use Dune Awakening as an example. Though there have been others too, like Asuka or V Rising, where if she wants to play a game and she needs people, well, she can certainly go up to me and Taste the Poison and see if she can get some help. And likewise with me, with the MMORPG genre, if I'm trying to recruit people, I can certainly go to Dahlia's Hologram Garden and see if she has anybody who's willing to help me. We've done this before with right before Throne of Liberty came out, and maybe with Chrono Odyssey in the future. But now, does that mean that I'm taking power away from Dahlia? No, not really, because say if I'm recruiting from Dahlia for the ESO guild, well, Dahlia doesn't play ESO, so that doesn't really impact her at all. If anything, I feel like it brings us all together, because individuals like joining a community, and then we have a larger group to support, but people like it even better when multiple groups come together. So let's say, another example I'll use is, let's say Evil Diesel goes to bed tonight, wakes up tomorrow morning, and then just abruptly decides that he wants to play lots and lots of Warframe. Okay, Evil Diesel can come to me, and he can say, yeah, I'm looking for people to play Warframe with, and we can see who's interested. And I've done this before for with one of my guild members really wanted to play Monster Hunter Wilds at one point, and I asked in his server if anybody was willing to play Monster Hunter Wilds, and then he was okay with it. But you see, that doesn't really hurt. That doesn't hurt. It helps. It helps all of us if multiple communities are working together. And honestly, you might even say the same thing in ESO when you think about it, because you have PvP guilds and you have trade guilds, and everybody can be in 5 guilds at once. So, like a PvP guild and a trade guild might, refer their members to each other for the type of service that that guild won't provide. So, a trade guild, you might have a member in a trade guild who wants to do PvP, but a trade guild can't offer that service. So, a trade guild will refer to that service to the PvP guild and vice versa. So, yeah. Outsourcing, it can be it can be good, though. The thing is, like, it wouldn't really work as well on other, like, it wouldn't work as well on basically every other MMO, because, you can only be a part of one guild per character. But that's just my 2 cents. Like, us recruiting from another Throne and Liberty guild on our ESO guild, that doesn't hurt them at all. So that really helps everybody. And with that, I think that's about it. I hope y'all see my point in outsourcing and different communities working together in order to build each other up. Community, collaboration, creativity, recognizing things that are of value, they just not be valuable to you. And have a crustively wonderful day. I'll see y'all in my next video. If there's anything you would like to ask me, any quick questions, any comments I have about something, feel free to drop it in the comments, and I'll see y'all next time.